Hi, I'm Megan. Welcome to today's live reading of Little Red the Detective by Lois Wickstrom, presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Join me. Little Red's granny called her one morning. Red, can you come visit today? She asked. I'm making a sweater for you, and I want to be sure it fits. Red's real name was Maureen. She got her nickname the last time Granny knit her a present. It was a red sweater with a hoodie. Maureen loved that sweater so much she wore it all the time. That's why they called her Red. Red said, Sure, Granny, I'll bring you some soft, spicy gingerbread cookies Mom and I made. If you see any coneflowers along the way, please pick me a few. Coneflowers make delicious peppery tea. Red liked learning how to tell one plant from another. When Red walked with Granny in the mossy woods, they used her plant identification book to be sure. I'll do my best, Granny, she said. Red put the gingerbread cookies into her basket beside the fingerprint kit, pocketed her plant identification book, and set off to Granny's house. Red loved the woods in the summer. So many beautiful flowers were in bloom. She remembered that Granny had pointed out coneflowers last year. They were purple. She got out her book and turned to the purple section. When she came to a sunny meadow, she saw many kinds of purple flowers. Right away, she found a match. One of the flowers in the meadow was in her book. It was a painted daisy. As she was looking for another flower to identify, along came a wolf. He asked, Are you picking pretty flowers for your granny? Red looked up at the wolf. She knew she wasn't supposed to talk to strangers, but the wolf lived in the woods, and he probably knew more about flowers than she did. Why, yes, I am. Do you know how to recognize coneflowers? My granny wants me to pick some so she can make luscious tea. The wolf immediately handed her a bouquet of purple-shaped coneflowers. Here you are. These are perfect for your granny. Red sniffed. Coneflowers smelled like vanilla. These flowers had no smell at all. They are purple and they do look like cones, said Red. I'll look them up in my book just to be sure. Take your time, said the wolf. While Red looked at the photographs in her book to identify the flowers, the wolf ran off toward Granny's house. The wolf loped quickly down the path and knocked at Granny's door. Come in, dear, called Granny, excited to see her granddaughter Red. But it wasn't Red. It was the wolf. He had given Red the flowers to delay her so he could get to Granny's first. He went straight to Granny's bed and swallowed her whole. Then he put on her nightgown and climbed into her bed. When Red arrived, she had two kinds of flowers in her basket. She had coneflowers that she had identified with her book. They had big yellow centers surrounded by purple petals. Beside them lay the flowers the wolf had given to her. Hi, Granny. I brought you some coneflowers, said Red, and I met someone in the woods who gave me this other purple flower. What kind is it? Come here, let me have a look, said the wolf in a deep voice. Red said, You don't look like Granny, and you don't sound like Granny. The wolf said, Of course I'm your Granny. Who else would I be? I don't know, said Red. After Granny taught me about how to identify plants, my teacher at school showed us a way to identify people. By their fingerprints. Everybody's fingerprints are different. I made Granny's fingerprints and put them in her dresser drawer. I can make yours now and see if they match. The wolf said, Come closer, dear. You'll see I'm your Granny. Just a minute. I'll make you a cup of tea, said Red. She took the wolf's bouquet of dark purple flowers to the kitchen. There you go, said Red, handing the wolf a cup of tea. After the wolf drank a few sips, he became ill and vomited. Out came Granny. Granny, I knew the wolf wasn't you, exclaimed Red. I'm glad you're okay. Look, I found some coneflowers. I'll make them into a tea to help you feel better. While Granny rested and sipped her coneflower tea, Red called animal control. Granny said, He is a horrible wolf. It was no fun being in his belly. Granny licked her lips. That tea was wonderful. I feel good enough to knit. Now let me measure you for your new sweater. I bought green yarn because you are so good at identifying plants. Red grinned. Thanks, Granny. Maybe I'll get a new nickname to match my new sweater. The end.